What's going on, guys? Kid Bash here, bringing you another video. This time it is of the wired capes that I have in my collection at the moment. I wanted to make this video because a lot of people ask me where I get my wired capes, and all my wired capes come from eBay. I'm not knocking anybody's hustle with wired capes, but I cannot justify spending $35, $40 for a wired cape for a figure. Those capes look beautiful and all, but these capes look just as good for a fraction of the price, and I love them. They come in a few different materials. Some of them are the same. Well, these are pretty much all the same material, but then you get the ones like this, like Magneto. And I jacked Mysterio's cape. I jacked it from him. I don't even care. Just got this Magneto couple, and they don't like to stand up. I don't know what it is with these capes, but Scarlet Witch period doesn't like to stand up. Look, there she goes. But Taskmaster don't like to stand up either. But Jack Mysterio for his cape, and it just looks so much better on Magneto. It's ridiculous. It just looks 10 times better on him than it ever did on Mysterio. I really like the wire cape look. Plastic capes are terrible in my opinion. They don't do figures any justice. They're heavy. They're silly looking to me. And, I just really wanted a different look for my figures. I love the way wire capes look. They just make figures look so much better, in my opinion. They just make certain figures especially, they just make them look amazing. And as you can see, these capes are good in any pose you put them in. This Magneto figure is awesome. I was going to swap the body, but once I put the cape on it, I'm in love. I love this figure. But yeah, like I said, these capes will do anything. They'll go anywhere. They'll pose any kind of way. They'll stay. Will it stay? Oh, yeah, it'll stay up too. So it'll look like the wind's rushing past them. It'll look like the wind's rushing. I won't let him go. He's back heavy now. But it'll look like that. They'll do anything. And I have one on Thor too. Whoa. Thor, Gladiator, Prowler. Prowler's probably one of my favorites in Gladiator too because of that collar. I really like that collar. But yeah, when I got this Thor it's an okay figure. I feel like it could have been just that much better. It could have been that much better. But it's an okay figure. I like it. For a classic Thor, it does the job. I just wasn't happy with the cape. The cape was really heavy. It was wonky. It was weird. So I went on eBay and, there's a seller I buy from all the time, GPS Lot on eBay. I bought every single cape that you see here from him. And they just look awesome. People were trying to tell me the material's weird. It's like they were saying like it's a rain jacket material, but it doesn't bother me at all. It gets the job done. And I don't like the cloth capes because they get those little... I don't know if anybody has an old sweater with the little fur balls on them. I don't like that look anyway. I don't like how that looks. This cape it'll go anywhere just like the Magneto cape. It'll do all of that kind of stuff, stuff capes do. The most poses I could do with capes is just a windswept look, like the wind's blowing across and the cape's flying everywhere. That's like the best pose I can do. But this is one of my favorite capes. Prowler has a really good one. Oh, Taskmaster too. Taskmaster's cape is pretty sick. Now, the way I attached most of these, like for Gladiator, did I glue his to his body? Yeah, Gladiator, Prowler, Magneto. Gladiator, Prowler, Magneto, Scarlet Witch. I glued all these capes to their bodies. Thor has ports on the top here, where you see this cape tucked in, where his stock cape comes out. I just glued them in there. I glued them right where they go, and they don't like to stand up. So they do, but they don't. You have to really get the cape in a different type of pose. But yeah, I jacked my Beta Ray Bill for her cape, and maybe I didn't glue hers on, but I jacked Beta Ray Bill for her cape. Beta Ray Bill and this Thor had the same cape, but I don't know what it was with Beta Ray Bill, but his cape just did not want to look right on his body. And from the comic pictures that I saw, shook the whole camera. From the comic pictures that I saw, Beta Ray Bill, his cape's pretty long, and Thor's cape usually stops. Like somewhere by his ankles, calves area. So I didn't mind him having a shorter cape. It didn't really bother me because his cape's not supposed to be overly long. Even though it depends on the artist. Some artists draw things differently, so. But I really wanted I want Beta Ray Bill to have a different cape, and on GPS Lot now he has a cape for Beta Ray Bill. I'm waiting on a cape for I'm waiting on a cape for Citizen V. I'm really, really hoping they launch one of those pretty soon because I want one. But yeah, they don't like to stand up. Yeah, I'm just leaving them there. Taskmaster is the only one I didn't glue the cape to his body because he has this gold thing here which keeps it down. It keeps it down with the hood with his head on. So I didn't really want to glue it on to him. Taskmaster has a couple upgrades. The sword is from Angela, and I put some straps on him. But the cape, I really wanted him to have a wired cape. It's just when it comes to me and wired capes, when the figure has a plastic cape, I don't know who in my collection even still has a plastic cape. I don't even have any other figures with capes. Oh, Sentry, that's only because before I was doing wired capes, before I was buying wired capes, I was super gluing the capes to the body. So there's a couple of them who don't have. There's a couple of them who have capes super glued to the body, but that's another conversation. But yeah. So these wired capes are just awesome. They make posing in pictures look so much better because they kind of elevate the pose of the figure. They really change the dynamics of it. Like say he's jumping down. Say Taskmaster's about to jump down on Spider-Man and decimate him. I had to sculpt on his sword handle because it was too small for Taskmaster. But yeah, he's about to jump down and decimate Spider-Man, let's just say, or he like dodge Spider-Man or something. You can throw the cape anywhere it needs to go. That's why I like wire capes because they just do whatever they need to do. They're situational and I love it. And then Gladiator is the last one. I'm going to just put Taskmaster to the side. Gladiator is the last one. This is probably my favorite cape right now because I really love this collar. It kind of reminds me of Doctor Strange, but it looks really good. Gladiator is a really underwhelming figure. When you get it out of the package, you're like, oh, okay, it's Gladiator. But once you know like a little bit about the character and the stuff that he does and his power set, he's pretty sick. He's pretty much Superman, just like Sentry. He's pretty much Superman, but his weakness is doubt. So if he doubts himself, he gets weak. But yeah, this is probably my favorite cape. The collar's posable. The collar is pretty sick, and then I don't know, it just looks the best. It looks the best. It really matches the character. It's a really, really good looking cape, and I just love it. Oh wow, I have a whole nother one. I have two more I didn't even bring down here. Hold on, let me grab those. I'll be right back. Alright, so I'm back, and I forgot the Batman. So yeah, Gladiators, that's probably my favorite cape in my collection. Not my collection of capes, but it's my favorite cape on a figure is a Gladiator. But yeah, I forgot about the Batman. Ben Affleck is one of my favorite Batman portrayals. Batfleck is my favorite, so whatever you say, Batfleck is the best. You can argue with me in the comments. But yeah, I bought a cape for him too. They all came from GPS lot. I think this was one of my first ones, I believe. I think Taskmaster was. Taskmaster was my first cape. This was probably my third or fourth one, but this one just really set this figure off. Cloth capes just don't do... Let me get all of these out the way. Yeah, cloth capes just don't do it for me. They look good when they're static, but when you're trying to pose your figure, like say, whoa, that was a weird pop. Say you want Batman to be like, I don't know, fighting or jumping or something, and the cloth cape is only gonna drape down. I'm gonna be able to do this kind of movement here. It's only gonna be down here, so that's the reason I don't like cloth capes. I replace, if there's a cape on the market. I keep knocking his glasses off. We'll leave them off. If there's a cape on the market that I can afford, I will try to grab it and replace it. I will, because like I said, cloth capes just don't do it. I'm gonna see if he'll stand up back there. I just recently did his. I really like this cape too. This review is all over the place. I'm sorry guys. I really like his cape too, because I really like the way it drapes over his shoulders. That's one of my favorite attributes of Batman is when the cape droops over the shoulders. And I tried to get that with this Batfleck too. But the style of cape that I got is totally different from that one. So this one here, and this is a really good figure. I really love this Mezco Tactical Batman. I traded a SDCC synthetic human for this Batman, and it was one of the best trades I've ever made. I don't even care. This figure's amazing. It's gonna be a hot one. Watch, trust me. But yeah, I put this cape was actually for a NECA Michael Keaton Batman, so Tim Burton Batman. And as soon as I saw it, I knew it was the right cape. I knew it had to go on this a Sovereign Knight, and I made it work. I actually had to cut a piece of it off, a piece of this wire piece. I had to cut it off on both sides just to make it fit right. I didn't like it at first, but the more I messed with it, it grew on me. It really grew on me, and I just love this cape so much. It looks good. The edges are like tattered, and they just look really good. Yeah, the edges are tattered on it, and let me spread it out. It's not really big. It used to be till I cut the pieces off, but the edges are tattered. This cape is just amazing. This cape looks really good on this figure. I really like it. So yeah, my custom capes, not custom capes. So yeah, these are the capes, all the capes I have in my collection at the moment. I do it, like I said, if I see it and the price is right, I'll grab it. I can't justify spending $42 or $40 or $30 or any of that on one cape. Because if you think about it this way, I got this cape for Thor, and this cape for Scarlet Witch. Well, it was on Betty Ray Bill first, but I got these two capes for $35 shipped from eBay. And like I said, I'm not knocking anybody on the cape hustle. If you make wire capes, if you make wire custom capes for figures, that's awesome. You know, keep doing your thing. But I'm a value guy. I like to get my value. I don't like to spend more than the figure costs for accessory for the figure. So I don't know. I just can't do it. That's just me. Let me get this Taskmaster in a silly pose. I don't like to spend more than I get for these figures. And I'm posing this figure like I have never posed a figure in my life. But yeah, I don't like to spend more than I spent on the figure for a cape. Some of them get close, like $22. I'm cool with that. But in the 30s range, I can't do it. I can't spend $30 on a cape, one cape. So yeah, these are my custom capes. I really like having them in my collection. They make the figures look amazing. They take basic figures and just elevate them, and it's really dope to me. So yeah, like, comment, subscribe. Check out my Patreon in the description. My Instagram, Facebook page, all that's in the description. Follow me there. I post a lot there. I post a lot on Patreon. So yeah, like, comment, subscribe, and I'm out.